for the language, usually we speak in English, in French.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, you mean you and me?
You and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when now it's kind of awkward to speak in English, but I have more expression when I speak in English. But what I wanted to say is I think recently I wrote a book of Michel Foucault.
D'accord. Yeah,
you know, a philosopher,
yeah,
French
I know
philosopher.
him.
So it says that why Western language become kind of critical or something like this is developed more to become a way to critique. There is more facility to critique something in compare of other language.
Okay.
There is a history of a Bible, because there is a Bible and a religion, and we should prove that it was real, that God was real.
Okay.
Like, for example, Bible said that there in at this area, like Noah said that this river divides this sea should divide it of two or something like this. We should walk across or something like this, and they should prove that it's real. Why, when, where we should go, but why he said that, this kind of criticized to prove that the God is real.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because of this history that the Western language become a kind of good at critical. So my point is, for as a Korean and for my maternal language, there is no really a critical culture and critical development of a language of a criticize for me.
Okay. So here's the thing that's interesting. Do you know how I studied Korean, right, at Sogang University? And I was telling you that when they teach you Korean, they also teach you about the culture that goes with the language and how you should express yourself. You should never be direct. You should always, it seems like it, right? So in order for me to live in Korea, I have to speak like Korean-ish. But you, when you went to France and you started speaking French, you had no problem being direct like the French are. But did you ever wonder, okay, I'm going to start speaking like a Korean person, but with French? Or were you just like, I'm just going to straight speak the way French speak? Because I have a hard time adapting to the Korean way of not being direct. But you, when you went to France, did you have a hard time being direct, even though you were allowed to be?
It's a very good question, because as you know, how much time it's been when that you live in Korea?
It's been 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you know this fact, because in Korea there's a kind of only one Western culture, which one from USA. For me, I really see that, because they don't really know culture of Europe or something like this, how people act. Because, for example, I know there's one friend of mine. He's from Africa.
Okay.
I don't really remember, Cameroon or something like this.
Okay.
He's not American at all. Culturally, really far from like a USA guy. But the thing is, we went to club. He's a pastor, something Catholic guy.
Oh, a priest?
Yeah, priest.
A priest that goes to
priest student.
And he goes to the club?
Yeah, just for a hangout and
oh
drink.
My God, okay, controversial.
Yeah, the thing is, this guy went to a club, and there is one Korean guy from Itaewon or Hongdae or something like this, and there is in Korea there is only Hongdae and Itaewon where there is foreign people hang out. But there was one Korean guy who came, and he said, "What's up, bro?" or something like this.
Oh my God, like the typical.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but he doesn't have this culture.
No.
Even if he was a French, he doesn't have this culture. What's up, bro? Or something like this. But the thing is, it's been a kind of 2 or 3 years that he lived in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So he used to see this kind of people, Korean guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "What's up?"
Oh
Something
my
like that.
God. Okay.
Praised the student. So what I wanted to say is, like, so, um, as a Korean, just before to go to France, as a Korean, I knew kind of like this kind of Western, like exaggerated version of Western culture from USA media or something like this. So for me, it was not really strange culture.
Okay.
When I just arrived in France, I know that the people are more expressive
Mm.
and more free. I don't like this
Honest. Yeah.
more honest or something like this. You know, this kind of stereotype of Western people.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was not really strange. So I started like try to imitate like a USA guy, American guy that I saw in a hip hop clip or something like
Oh
this.
my God.
I
Okay.
think, what's up? Ça va mon cousin? Something
This
like
is
this.
so bad.
Yeah, this is so bad, but one time, at least we should start from somewhere.
Yeah, true.
So I started like this, but I think for you it was really strange all this culture because surely you should have watched like a Korean drama or a Korean beat,
Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
this kind of thing. But it's not like all day culture, you know. You come to your house and you observe this kind of culture in your house, but not ordinary life, you know. But for me, American culture was ordinary life because as you see in Korea, American culture is everywhere. So for me, it was. I think it was my feeling was more familiar that how you feel in Korea
Okay.
to see reality culture, real culture in Korea.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, so my answer is yeah, it was not
It wasn't hard.
really difficult.
Okay. Yeah, no, because I mean, I've adapted now, but I remember at first I was fighting against it. I was like, why should I, especially like the ulkokata thing, like, why should I speak this way? But she would always like correct me. And at some point I figured, you know what? I want to speak Korean, but I want to also be respectful and I want to be fluent in the language. And if you want that to happen, you have to follow the rule. You can't just like speak it the way you want to speak it. Just like with the honorifics, you know, when you speak to someone who's older than you have to speak a certain way, etc. And I watch Korean dramas, but I wasn't aware of the intricacy of the language and the specifics of the culture related to the language. That was kind of surprising for me. But it's okay. It's no big deal. I still think like an American. I act like an American, and then sometimes I just pretend I don't know about the Korean culture, but I know. But I'm just gonna use my foreigner card, and that's it. Just pretend I'm a foreigner and I don't know better when I do know better.
Sometimes I did the same thing in France.
It works.
It was been like 8 years that I stayed in France, and then when I need to be a foreigner, I asked like, oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it was
I
kind
do
of advantage of a foreigner, no?
Yeah,
Foreigners
I
thing.
agree. I agree. Sometimes I just play dumb. I'm like, oh, well, we don't do that in America. Like, what are you talking about?
What?
Yeah, I do that at work a lot. So, anyway.
So you coach people who try to like integrate in Korean culture and you help and you give a kind of advice to them who try to like find a job in Korea, non-teaching job, because in Korea teaching job is really well reputed, air quote, non-teaching job or something like this. And there's a lot of thing that like a young, like a 20 years old like European or Western guy who arrive in Korea and who doesn't really know how to do paperwork and something like this. All right.
Yes. So I have this coaching program that I call Roadmap to Korea. And it's basically geared towards a very specific type of people. Like, I don't work with anybody. I don't want to work with anybody. The idea is that if you are interested in Korea and you want to move to Korea, but you want more from your life in Korea, aka you want to come here, you want to integrate in society, you want to find a job, you want to stay here long term, then I can help you with that. I don't help people who just want to come and chill and have a good time, etc. First of all, and as far as helping them find a job, I don't want to say that I help them find a job, because when you say that, people would assume that you would give them like job opportunities or like, places to go and interview. Like, I don't have that kind of stuff.
You're more mindset.
Exactly. I'm more like, okay, if you want to get a job in Korea, this is what you should be doing. This is how you should conduct yourself. These are the things that you should put in place. These are some of the criteria and the skills that you need to have, etc. So that's basically what I tried to give. And it's also the idea of, if you want to come here and find a job that's non-teaching, you have to speak Korean. There is no other way around this. Like, you need to speak Korean. Unless you've been recruited from overseas to work at Samsung as an engineer and you don't need Korean, then that's fine. But if you want to come here and find a job at a Korean company as a foreigner, you need to speak Korean. Point blank, period.
But the thing is, it's because they're not their own country, first of all, and also it's because they're too young. Like the most of people, I see that in Hongdae especially, most of like a French guy or something like this, they didn't even like work in their own country,
Yeah.
and they try to find a job in other country.
Yeah, and I think the people you're referring to are those who come here with, there's this specific visa when you are from European country or America. They give you work holiday visa. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think most of the young people that we see, the foreigners that are out there, they come here with this 1-year visa, and it basically tells you you can work and you can play in Korea. But the kind of work that you can do is very limited to working at a coffee shop, at a restaurant, at a bar. Like, a real company is not gonna, it's not gonna hire you. You know what I mean? However, you could potentially come here with that kind of visa and try to see what life is in Korea, because there's a difference between coming to Korea on vacation for 2 weeks and then living in Korea. So if you want to feel what it's like to live in Korea, then you can use that visa and come over, spend a year here. And if you feel like, oh my God, this is really what I want to do, then you can go back home and come back again. This time around, you go to university, Sogang or Yonsei, Iwa, whatever. You study Korean, and then you try to find a job later. That's it. I mean, it sounds simple. It's not, but again, you need Korean.
Yeah, the thing is, people kind of know this reality, but I don't really feel that they try to do that. They try hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're in Asia, because there's Han River, because there's a lot
Did you say because there's a Han River?
No, I always talk about Han River because I see a lot of people who foreigners go to Han River.
I mean, it's a great river. There's a lot of things to do there.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of thing to discover because they're not anymore with their parents, freedom and something like this. So I saw kind of much of people, but I didn't feel that they have a kind of ambition.
Yeah.
They are not really serious to find a job. They say that I'm really stressed, but they don't try. I really think that they don't try.
No, I agree. And it's funny that you said that, because I remember, so I have this YouTube video where I talk about like my process, like how I found a job here in Korea. And I remember someone putting a comment, and I told the person, hey, send me a message and I'll see what I can do to help you. But the problem is, when you start talking to people who complain about things that they cannot achieve, you realize that they haven't really tried. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's hard for me. Okay, where did you apply? That person was unable to tell me where she applied. It's like, well, if you don't apply, obviously you're not going to get any jobs. Like, do you have a Korean resume? The person doesn't have a Korean resume. Like, how do you, like, what? So it goes back to the person needs to know what they want and they need to be very serious about what they want. That's why I say I don't work with just anybody. Like, I need you to be serious about this before I pour my knowledge and my energy into helping you. The young people that we see in Hongdae, honestly, they're just here to have fun, and that's okay. Like, if you just want to come to Korea and chill and have fun and be young, then do that. But know your lane. Like, you cannot have that kind of mentality and then turn around and be like, oh, I want a job and settle down here. Like, that's not going to work. You have to pick and choose. Either you come here and you have fun and you go back home, or you decide, this is something I want to be serious about. And in that case, you have to make sure that in your country, you have a diploma. Because if you do not have a bachelor degree, you are not going to get a job in Korea. That's already like number one. So
you,
if
you say that to your to who needed your advice.
oh,
you say it directly.
on my thing, if you want to work with me, I'm like, you need a diploma. If you don't have a degree, I don't work with you.
They don't cry.
No, it's like, because we have this 25 minute of discovery. I call it discovery call. So if you're interested, we talk for 25 minutes. So I get to know you and I get to know who you are, what you want to do, why you want to come to Korea, what's your background. And then I decide if we can work together. And you can also decide if you want to work with me. But this is very important. Everything else is not going to work out if you do not have a diploma. Because if you want an E7 visa, which is the working visa, the government is going to ask you for your diploma. The company you are going to work for is going to ask you for your diploma. So if you're 19 years old with no diploma and you come here, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing.
I think they already know this kind of reality, but they kind of ignore. No?
Yeah.
Didn't you feel that? Because it's logic. Because without diploma, it's logic that without diploma, without university,
Yeah.
it's more difficult to find a job. It's really like a basic
That's a basic thing.
logic.
Yeah, it is a basic thing.
Common sense.
But the problem also that I see most of the time are people who have diplomas, but diplomas that are, I don't want to say useless, but that are not competitive. And then the other thing also is they don't really have like work experience. Because at the end of the day, and you're here in Korea, like the youth is struggling. People here are highly educated, but there aren't many jobs, right? Like the job market is kind of like, it's tough. So you're going to compete with Korean people as a foreigner. What special skills do you have that's going to make you stand out? You can't rely on English anymore because most Koreans do speak English, right? Even if it's not fluent English, it's still English. So relying on English is not going to help you. You have to rely on the fact that you've studied in a different country, so you have a diploma from a different country, but also if you have work experience in the field that you want to work with, that's going to be helpful as well. And sometimes people, they have a diploma, but they don't have the working experience. They don't speak Korean and they come here and trying to find a job. That's going to be hard. So my thing is simple. Be like me. Don't rush the process. Come here on vacation, because I came here on vacation like twice before I made the decision, right? Come here on vacation, have fun, blah, blah, get to know the country, the culture. Stay in your country. Get your diploma in a field that you like, a field that's interesting. Work in your country. Get some working experience, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. And then save your money. Then move to Korea. Go to a university. Learn Korean for a year and a half. And while you're learning Korean as a student, you also get to experience what it is like to live in Korea, like everyday life in Korea. And then as you're studying Korean, you can decide, oh my God, this is not for me. Because I have clients who came, were at Sogang, realized, you know what, this is not for me. Korean is way too hard. I don't want to live here anymore. They went back. And I'm like, that's okay. At least you did it.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah. Right? So come here, and then as you're studying, you decide, okay, I don't like it, I'm going to go back. I like it, I'm going to stay. And as you're studying, try to look for opportunities around you. And then you can do the transition to getting a job.
I think like people kind of become emotional with Korea when they arrive in Korea, because there is a lot of thing that can provocate emotion, I
Oh
think.
yeah. Yes.
Yes, so they don't want to live from Korea. At the same time, the reality to find a job is kind of difficult. But I really think that life is long term. You can go back, but you can come again.
Yeah, you can.
You're gonna live until like 100 years. I think this generation, I think, it's not big deal for the totality of your life. It's not really big deal. But people, as people became already emotional, they just don't want to live.
I like that you say that Korea makes you emotional, because I think 90% of the people who moved to Korea, me included, it was out of emotions because we fell in love with something. For me, it was Seoul, the city. But some people, it could be like drama, it could be K-pop, it could be like a specific singer or whatever it is. But it's always like emotional attachment, which I think is beautiful. However, I think reality is important. So when you have this emotional attachment to a city or to a place, I think you should come here first and experience it before making life-changing decision. So someone, for example, who wants to move to Korea long-term but has never been to Korea, I'm going to be like, why would you want to do that? Why don't you just come on vacation for 2 weeks and experience it for what it is? Because there's so many fantasies around Korea, right? So I would say, come on vacation and then make the decision. But don't just like jump. And then, oh gosh, there's this one thing. People who come to Korea and study, I don't know why people do that. Unless you have a scholarship that has been given to you and you can attend university here for free, I'm like, yes, please do. But if that's not the case, don't come to Korea. I mean, no offense, eh? I'm just like,
I know what you
it's
mean,
like, don't. And people have this idea that if I come to Korea and I study in Korea and I have a Korean diploma, then I'm going to find a job in Korea like easily. That is not the truth. That is not always the truth. And there's so much I want to say about this topic. But at the end of the day, people who have studied in Korea that I know personally don't speak Korean. You know why?
Why?
Because most of the classes are in English. Especially
Even in Sogang?
people who do their master's degree. I don't know about undergrad, but people who do their master's degree in Korea, the classes are in freaking English.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And they don't speak Korean. Now, of course, they have the possibility of taking Korean classes, but most of them do not. So you have people who graduate and don't speak Korean. How are you going to find a job in Korea with a Korean diploma if you don't speak Korean? That doesn't make sense, right? And then the worst part, what they don't realize is you're going to be competing with Korean people with Korean diploma. You're not special anymore. But if you stay in a country, in America, in France, you have a diploma from an overseas university. So that makes you automatically different from a regular Korean person. So you're going to come here and be basic like everybody else who's struggling to get a job? It's like, why would you do that? Stay in your country, get your diploma there, get work experience, and then come here.
Yeah.
Don't come to Korea and study unless you get a scholarship. If you want to spend time in Korea as a student, come as a transfer student for a semester. That's it.
I think it's kind of fantasy with the English competence, because English is really good competence. I really see that. But we are in Korea.
It's a great skill, yeah.
We are in Korea. We don't speak English.
It is so important to speak English in this country.
People, when they work, they want to... When we hire someone, why we hire? Because I want this person help me, so I can be more. I can have a more facility when I work. But if someone who come to my company and who speak in English for like a 24-hour, and I should translate, I should think about English skill, English. Sorry, I don't speak English. But can you speak slowly? Is it logic? This kind of like a processes?
No, it's not.
No, we are in Korea. Korean people prefer to speak in Korean. English is not enough. You should speak Korean, ideally.
Yeah. Even to communicate with your coworkers.
I go to France to work with French. I should learn French, and I go to USA, and I should learn English. This kind of logic is not Korea is not an exception for this country.
Exactly. That's why it's like people don't realize it. It's almost like it should be common knowledge that you need to speak Korean, but people don't realize that. And the truth is, Korean is hard. I mean, you don't know that
Really
because it's your language.
But I heard too much
But
from
oh my
friends.
God.
I heard. Yeah, I understand. It's like I try to
Oh God.
learn Arabic.
Oh, you did?
No, it's like.
Oh, it's like trying to
yeah.
learn. Yeah, it's like different
From-
characters, and then the grammar is different, and the word, like the sentence structure is different. I mean, luckily, I'm in love with Korean. That's why I I did what I did. And because, you know, the desire of staying here, the determination and all that. But it is hard. Even today, it's still hard. I still struggle, but I keep pushing because I don't have a choice. I want to stay here. I need to speak this language and eventually master it. I don't know about that yet, but it is very important. People don't realize that. Those who realize that and give it a try struggle. I've never met someone who was like, oh yeah, studying Korean was so great and now I'm fluent and I'm perfect. No. But like I said, I had 2 people coming here. I helped them. They were like super, super excited. One person was clear that she wanted to stay here long term. The other person was like, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to give it a year and then I make a decision. But both struggled at Sogang because it was so hard. And mind you, one of them had started learning Korean with like a private tutor. So she had an idea of, you know, but with any language, when you start, it's easy. But as you increase in like level, things start getting very, very more, very complicated. And yeah, she gave up because of the language, among other things. The social life also wasn't that great.
So when you give this kind of advice to your
My
how should I
client,
call
you
your
can call him
client?
my
Yeah,
client.
your client. What is their reaction? They accept the reality. They assume the reality, or like I don't know. How is their reaction? Because they are young, usually. No.
The oldest that I had was 39.
Okay.
The average, I would say, yes, in their 20s, like mid 20s. I have to say, because I have a disclaimer on my program saying that I only work with certain people, I do tend to have people who are I don't want to say very serious, but people who mean it. Okay, so that automatically weed everybody out. So I don't deal with people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're telling me this. Like, how? No, I don't deal with those people. So right off the bat, I get people who are aware somehow of the requirement that it's going to be to make this dream come true. Now, of course, when they start talking to me, they get more information on the reality, but I tell them, hey, if I did it, you can do it, you know? And if it's something that you really want, you should give yourself the opportunity to try and then decide. Because at the end of the day, you never know how you're going to react until you put yourself in the situation. So I can tell you, oh, it's going to be great, you're going to be fine, you're going to find a job easily, blah, blah. Just like I can tell you, oh, it's going to be hard, it's going to be this and that. But you and I don't know how things are going to be for you. You have to be here to discover that for yourself. So in that sense, they are more like grateful more than anything, like grateful for the information because they know that with that information, they can prepare themselves better. So it's always like this sense of gratitude. Thank you. Let's do it. That's always what I get at the end of the session. Sorry, because we have like 3 sessions. So yeah.
I think the thing which is important is not how good you are, but you should have a self-awareness. Which thing I'm not good, which thing I'm good. You should really know yourself. I think what you try to like teach to your client is kind of this kind of mindset who give you this kind of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Is it correct? Like a word?
Yeah.
I think it's really important thing.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right because that's actually the first part of my module because I have three modules. So the first one is about, like you said, mindset. So we talk about Sogang because, again, like I said, you have to learn Korean. I don't want you to tell me anything. I'm telling you, you are going to go to Sogang and study Korean. If you don't do that, then we're not working together. There's no point. So the first module is about like the whole Sogang experience, how you can sign up and blah, blah. But then we talk about mindset. When you are in Korea, this is most likely what's going to happen to you. Be aware of this and that. And I tell them, you can't predict the kind of problems that are going to happen to you, but what you can have are the tools to handle those problems. You know, think of yourself as a plumber. When people call you to their house, you don't know what kind of issues you're going to get, right? But because you have the knowledge and you have all your tools in your bag, you're like, I'm okay. Like whatever comes, I have what it takes to fix it. So, and you're going. So that's what I try to tell them. Like, don't focus so much on the problems that are going to arise when you get to Korea. Focus on your tools, who you are as a person, get to know you better. And I ask them, why do you want to go? Are you trying to escape from something? Do you think that Korea is the El Dorado? Like, so I'm trying to see like, why do you want to do why you're doing what you want to do? And then we talk about mindset. We talk about personal development and then I tell them about the reality of Korea. But then again, it's based off of my own reality, which might not be their reality. So sometimes I have to be careful of that as well because my experience might not be their experience. But yeah, the first module is about mindset. The second one is about money because money, always about money. And then the third one is about opportunities once you finish Sogang. Job opportunities, entrepreneurship opportunities, and then different services. Because Korea has lots of services available for free to people who want to be here that foreigners might not be aware of, but it's there. So I talk about that as well.
How did you get all this kind of knowledge? I think since that I met you for the first time, I really I saw you directly that this person is mature.
Oh, really?
Like far from kid, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I remember that you started to work from really early of your life, like since forever, kind of.
Not really. Actually, no. I had a very sweet childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents made sure I had that. Yeah.
But you moved to USA alone, no?
Yes, that's true.
That experience, it made you kind of really stronger.
I think so too. Yeah, America changed me. I feel like when I was back home in the Central African Republic, I had a very sheltered, very nice cookie cutter life, and then when I moved to America, that's when things changed because now my parents were not there anymore and I had to figure stuff out on my own. And that automatically makes you into a different person. But also because it was America and not France, because you've been in France, right? Yeah. You know how the French are, like very laid back, very go with the flow, not much ambition. And I'm not... Dude, I have family in France, okay? My mom is half French. So I'm not trying to be like disrespectful here, but
sorry, French people. Not ambition, maybe not.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So the fact that it was America out of all the other countries in the world helped a lot because, you know, the individualism and the pursuit of happiness and greatness and knowing that you can do whatever you want to do, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve if you're motivated, etc. So that helped. That built up my mindset. And then also love, you know, I fell in love with Seoul and I'm like, I want you so bad. I'm going to come and get you. So yeah, when you combine all three.
So to get that, you should really wake up yourself.
You need a why.
Yeah.
You need a why. Why do you want to do this? If you don't have a why, you're not going to go through sacrifices. Right? Like you.
Yeah, I mean, you see that you're really reasonable. like a reasonable person, you ask yourself why, how many, how much, you know. I think real. I think your experience of in America for 10 years, right?
15, like half of my year, basically.
15,
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, it's like a half of my year in Africa, half of my year in America, and then the remaining I'm currently in Korea. People are joking that maybe that would be like the third part of my life. We'll see. But yeah.
15 years is not a joke.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
We can really consider that it was your life, yesterday.
Yeah.
It was your life.
Like, yeah, like my adult life and, you know, the years that really matters, you know, because I was 17 until 30, what, 32? When did I? Yeah, something like that. 2020, August 2020, during the pandemic. That's when I came.
So from what kind of job you started at the USA?
Job?
Yeah, job.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was going to school.
Ah,
Oh, you mean like after graduating and stuff?
You never work while you were a student, or after school?
Oh, when I was a student,
Like a small job.
I
No,
was
never.
yeah, I could, but no, I was like in my entrepreneurial mindset. So you know how I speak French also fluently, right?
Yeah.
So I became a French tutor. So I was tutoring kids,
Sure.
and I made money. Like I was paying my rent and
Ah,
you know, like pocket
okay.
money and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, dishwasher or something like that.
I never worked in a restaurant. Never worked in. I did a clothing store at some point.
Clothing store.
Yeah, like in a clothing store, you know,
Yeah.
selling clothes and stuff. But I never worked in a restaurant. And to be honest with you, I just preferred teaching and tutoring French on the side. It made way more money. It was way more enjoyable. And yeah, that's what I did.
It makes sense because since there you became kind of like a tutor or something like this.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, because you like it, and it's kind of your type of job. I think you found naturally like this, because just before this podcast we went to a restaurant, but I said that at the restaurant I said that there's kind of gene for a certain job.
Yeah.
And I think I feel kind of you are like you have a gene to being a tutor because you have really tutor vibe or something like that. But you know, when I was when I just finished my high school, I tried to work as a in a part-time job in restaurant as a server.
Oh.
I didn't really need money because my parents gave a lot of money. It was enough, but you know, I had a desire to work because it looks cool. It looks really mature.
Oh, so
It
for
looks,
you it was to be cool.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, yeah. I wanted to become an adult, like my friends. You know, I wanted to like work in a convenience store. It looks really cool too.
That was
Yeah, for me looks really cool too. Like a convenience store is adult shit.
okay.
You know, convenience store, restaurant, in a barbecue restaurants or something.
Was it the idea of having your own money and being able to do whatever you want with it without?
I didn't really need the money at the time.
Okay.
I had a lot of money from my parents,
Okay.
but I'm not the level to bowling or something like this, but you know, enough to eat outside and you know, hanging out with friends.
Take
But
girls on dates and stuff.
yeah, like take girls and take clothes from a department store or something like that. But not. I just wanted to be an adult. I think
Okay.
I tried server. Like after one day, I got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah, sure.
What did you do?
Because I was too spoiled from my parents.
Okay.
So I was too slow.
Oh.
I understood anything from my boss. Yeah. For example, there is some guys who bring boxes from a truck or something like this. I see people who bring boxes from truck to into restaurant, is it should be like a food box or something like this. I see 3 people who brings. So for my logic at that time, so there is enough of people. So there is no need
Are you
that I
Korean?
should I should go there. So I was like watching.
Are you Korean? Are you sure? And I'm pretty sure you were like the youngest in the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
place.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you should have like helped people. You should
Yeah.
know better.
Yeah, but for me, at the time I was boxer at the time, like a Thai boxer, strong person, like with charisma. So I'm stronger than you. I don't move. You know, this kind of mindset. I was really piece of shit. I was piece of shit at that time. So at that time, my perspective was like this: I'm physically stronger than you. I'm more stronger in fight in compare of you. So I'm higher than you. You know,
So,
you should come to ask something. It's not me who come to you like ask something.
Oh my God, you're so
So
full of yourself.
so it's changed because after that I went to military service. 2 years. I got fucked
Oh my God.
by
Yeah,
other.
because you have to follow orders, right?
Yeah,
That was hard for you?
I got fucked by people, by my I don't know how to say coworker, co-soldier.
Okay.
They mentally kind of killed me. Like I didn't know that I can get aggression mentally. Just I didn't know that that level of a violation by verbal before to go
Like
to
verbal
military.
abuse and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
but it really like fucked me. So at the beginning of military service, I was like confident of myself because I'm Thai boxer. And then people, what, you're Thai boxer, you a piece of shit or something like this. And then you don't help me, fuck off, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So while 3 months, I had a lot of acne on my face. And I got really stressed, so it changed my personality. So I assumed that so I was a piece of shit. So at that time,
Oh my God.
I mean, if that time, I think military service is. I didn't like that. I didn't like the totality of a military service. But I learned something at least. So if I didn't do a military service and go to France, I think it should be really horrible because I should be really arrogant even in France. So I shouldn't like have it. It should like have me make to go to people to speak in another language. I don't know. I became kind of modest after military service.
Okay. And do you think that was a good thing?
No.
Okay.
If no, I really didn't like it. I'm too.
So do you want to go back to being arrogant and confident and
Maybe I'm not sure. Because I said to myself, yeah, discipline is good. But I learned something. But from even if I didn't go to military service, maybe I should have learned something from other thing. I think I don't know.
So when you finished military school, that's when you went straight to France?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was kind of. I was like thinking, what should I do? Blah blah blah, or something like this, and then my father said me, yeah, I have some money to send you like a foreign country. At that time, I said that there's no need. I don't want to go foreign country.
Okay.
So like take the money for you or something like this. I was really that level of a spoiled kid, you know.
Okay.
I took too much money from all my family, so I refuse. I used to refuse to take money.
Okay.
So you know, so but yeah, I was staying like this, and then I said to my father that yeah, do you remember that you said me
Do you
that you
remember the
can send?
proposition?
Yeah, do you remember? It was kind of promise. It was appointment. So he said, "What? Yes." And I said, "Please, please do that."
So what
Uh,
made you change your mind?
mm, I don't know. I got bored, kind of.
Okay.
I got bored. I got really bored. You know, at that age, like 18 or 19 or something like this, we don't really know of
No, we don't.
ourselves.
Mm.
And what I used to do when I was like since 14 years old, something like this, it was only Thai boxing, whole day, every day. But I stopped it when I was after military service. So whole my activity was doing kind of nothing. I think
Mhm.
listen to music. I was walking and listening to music and buying some clothes or something like this in the department store. And you know, consuming. So I didn't have passion, but you know,
But you could have gone in America, right? Because you said like growing up, you knew more about American culture. But why did you pick France?
it's kind of long story. Exactly. I was really short time, and during really short time, I was in a Korean university,
Mm-hmm.
French literature department, in French literature department for 8 months or something like this.
What? So like your major was French related?
Yeah,
Oh my God, seriously?
yeah, but I didn't learn anything because I was drinking always with friends, hanging out always was friend. But it influenced, but also I don't know why. One time in the television, I I watched a video of a documentation of like a fashion designer or something like this. And there Marangoni is in Italy or something like this. It's talked about it was talked about a Korean student who work in who is in a Marangoni school. Marangoni school is a fashion design school in Italy, I think.
Okay.
I used to like consuming clothes, so I was enthusiastic to with the fashion. So I wanted to become a fashion designer, basically.
Oh, okay.
But so yeah, so that's why kind of like a fashion design. So design is kind of art. So art.
Okay.
Where's art country? France.
Okay.
There's Eiffel Tower.
Oh, no, that makes sense then. Okay. Good to know. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, it started like this, but I didn't become a fashion designer. But
No, you did not.
look at me.
You did not.
No, look at me. At the time I really realized that there's a big difference between what we want to do and what we actually do well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's very big difference. A really big difference.
I agree.
Mm.
And I feel like you have to try in order to know that.
Mm. So you let's talk about your YouTube experience now.
My YouTube
You have a
experience.
really successful Goshiwon video. What is Goshiwon?
Oh, so a Goshiwon is a very tiny room. So tiny, I think. I want to say from this table to maybe the end of the other table. This ish, kinda. It's very tiny.
Yeah.
So tiny that you'll be lucky if the bed is longer than 1 meter 70. Because I'm 170.
Okay.
and the bed was just tak 맞아. Like it was just,
Fit.
yeah. It's so tiny. The walls are so thin that you can hear everything. Even if the person is in the bathroom, you can hear it. If the person is on the phone, you can hear it. But the reason why Goshiwon are so popular is because one, it's inexpensive. Number two, you don't have to pay like a huge deposit because in Korea, in order to move into a place, you have to give a lot of money. So Goshiwon generally do not ask for that much. And so students would go and live in Goshiwons. And if you are a foreigner who is here in Korea trying to go to university, then you would stay in a Goshiwon. That was my plan. My plan was I'm going to stay in a Goshiwon. Now that I think about it, that was insane. My plan was to stay in a Goshiwon for a year, okay? And I found the nicest Goshiwon I could find because most of them were very nasty.
Yeah.
I got there, and after a month, I left because I just couldn't do it. But my Goshiwon was very nice, very, very nice. So I took a whole video. I explained the whole process, how much it was. I gave all the information. And then I put it on YouTube to help people because when I was looking for Goshiwon, I would go on YouTube and try to find them. And when you find a video, the person never tells you where it is, never tells you how to contact the person, which I understand because if you live in a Goshiwon, you don't want to give the information because that's dangerous. But the moment I left the Goshiwon, I published a video and I gave all the information. And I think that's why it's popular, is because people want to know if they come to Korea, where can they stay that's not going to be too expensive. And the truth is, honestly, it is not the greatest living experience. I couldn't stand it.
Why?
Well, first of all, the idea of everybody hearing, like you cannot be on the phone. You cannot be on the phone because if you're on the phone, people are going to hear you. So what people do in Goshiwon is they wear earphone all the time, like when they watch videos, when they do anything. The problem is when you talk on the phone, you have to talk. I mean, it sounds stupid, but you have to talk. So people hear you and people complain and stuff. So it's that idea. And I remember thinking it's not going to matter because I'm going to be out there all the time. I'll be at school. I'll be in a coffee shop. So I'm not going to stay in my room for too long. It doesn't matter. But the truth is when you get to Korea, you're going to stay in your room for a long time. There's this feeling of, I don't want to say loneliness.
Why?
But especially when I came, it was during COVID. So, like everything was closed. You couldn't stay in coffee shops. So I spent most of my time in the Goshiwon. And I felt claustrophobic a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you miss your family, you cannot be on the phone because I have to call them at like 9, 10, 11 p.m. when people around me are trying to sleep.
Yeah.
But my family is awake in America. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go outside? And it's freaking cold to be on the phone. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It wasn't. Yeah.
But it's specifically, it's because it was during COVID, right?
I think so, yeah. It was because of COVID. But I feel like if it's now, when everything is nice outside and you can be outside, then it should be okay. If you're so desperate and you don't have a lot of money, then that would be your option. But personally, been there, done that, no thank you.
It was really successful, your YouTube video of a channel.
I don't even know how many views that video has.
I think it was 44K or something like this.
Okay.
It's crazy amount of.
Yeah. And people are weird. Do you know, like I get comments asking me how much it is when I did say that in the video.
Yeah.
I don't like when people ask questions when the answer is in the video. And I'm like, didn't you watch the video? I don't answer anymore. It's like, you're wasting my time. I put so many hours making this video and you're gonna come to me, waste 5 minutes of my time to give you an answer when the answer is in the video. Like, how disrespectful is that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people like this. Like when we work also, like there's, I don't know, it's my style of work, but when I work, for example, when I send a mail, like I put all the information in one mail to avoid to send the mail and respond and send again the mail response. So it takes too much time when we communicate. So to reduce the communication, not reduce the communication, reduce to like a go and backward communication. I put all the information, and then you answer all the information one time. So just to go and back. That's all. But the thing is that I send a mail, and people doesn't even read until the end, and then people just ask again.
It is so annoying.
Again, it's really annoying, but.
But you don't have a choice because this is your business. You have to respond. But this is not my business.
You don't.
And I'm like, no, I stopped caring. At first, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be super helpful. But then I'm like, why? Like, everything is there. And you know, because I'm also helping people. Like, people come into my DMs and they ask me questions about Korea. When you have information, like, I don't mind giving information. There's some information, obviously, that has to stay behind a paywall. Like, you have to pay to have access to it. But some information, no, I can give it, right? But it's the way you ask the information. I will not respect you and I will not give you the information if I realize that you have not done simple, basic research. If you come and ask me a question about a video when I know for sure the answer is there, how am I going to take you seriously? That means you didn't even take the time to watch a video that's like, what, 10 minutes? Why would I take you seriously? And then sometimes you get DMs such as, like, random questions. Oh, I have this diploma, da, da, da. Do you think I can find a job in Korea? How do I know? Like, what do you want me to tell you? Or people coming and asking you basic questions that they could Google very easily. And I'm like, you're not respecting my time. When I know for sure that the information is out there. But if you come to me and say, hey, Leila, I did the research, but I couldn't find that information, and you give me something very specific, then I can help you. I'm like, oh, you did your research. Then I can help you. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's just like, I want to help, but you have to help yourself first before I come in and help you.
There is a lot of people between friends like this and something like this. I think, like, for example, it was my brother's story, because my brother, someone like asked an advice to my brother.
Okay.
And then how to do that, and he sent a link of a tutorial of something, and it's really well explained in this tutorial video. Is really well explained in general.
Okay.
So that's why he sent, and the other one said that, but can you just make a resume of this video with the
audacity,
text?
The audacity. Like, you know, like, how would your brother feel now? It's like, are you freaking serious now? The disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, people.
What did he say? What did he do? How did you react?
I don't remember.
I won't even respond to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some friend of mine who does that to me, but I think I don't even answer if someone asks to me. Me too. Like, internet is more correct than me, more intelligent than me, more correct.
Google is your friend.
Yeah. Tutorial video, watch tutorial video, something like this. But I think they kind of need a human voice.
No. It's laziness. That's it. It's like, I want you to do all the work for me so I can use that information for myself. But what you don't understand is, if you want to accomplish anything, you have to do the work. People cannot do the work for you, because if you let people do the work for you, it's going to limit how far you can go. But if you are the one digging, the one doing the work, then you can go as far as you humanly possibly can. And I don't like people who rely on others to make things happen for themselves. Like, I don't have respect for that. I don't. Like, the reason why I know so much about this whole thing is because I did my own research. Spent hours, I talked to people, I met people, and also, like, through the networking, you find out information. So, like, you how serious are you? Because if you're serious, you won't even wait for me to tell you the information. You're going to go get it yourself. And then if you're confused, you might come to me and be like, hey, Leila, you know what? There's this thing like I saw you do. And that's also something like if you see someone see something that you want to do and something that inspires you, don't hate on them. Try to see how did they make it happen. And if you can talk to them and ask them blah, blah, fine. But make sure you come prepared so that they can take you seriously.
Yeah, sometimes we should work alone. You know, we should research alone.
Yeah.
It helps more than asking to friends or something like this. Sometimes there's essential thing that you should work just alone, like a researching or something like this. Learning Korean.
Yeah.
Like
nobody's gonna help you. Learning Korean, finding out information.
But you weren't surprised by like that amount of view of a video of Goshiwon?
No. Actually, if anything, I'm disappointed.
Why?
Because I feel like there are more interesting videos on my channel than that.
It was true.
I'm like, because if you're watching a Goshiwon video, that means you're interested in Seoul. That means you want to live in Seoul, right? Like you want to spend some time in Seoul. And I'm like, I have more videos with more information that's going to make your life easier in Seoul. And you go watch a freaking Goshiwon video? Like, seriously? That was my reaction.
First, the most popular video was a Goshiwon video, and second was a studio room tour.
Exactly. It's like housing. And I'm like, I don't get it. You're worried about your housing, but you're not worried about opportunities. You're not worried about how your life is going to be and how you can make your life better. That's just interesting.
But the thing is, you know, in the Facebook, there's a group of francophone en Corée. Francophone en Corée.
Really?
There is a francophone community in Facebook.
Okay.
Who lives in Korea, and there's a lot of people who have a problem with the landlord, surely with the contract, but also how to find a good apartment in Korea and something like this. And yeah, people ask a lot of questions about like a house.
Yeah, but you know what? What is the common problem? Is the lack of Korean.
Lack of Korean?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means that it's because they don't speak Korean. That's why.
Oh.
Because speaking Korean is just gonna make everything.
Yeah, I mean,
easier.
Landlord guys are not really like English speaker in general.
Oh yeah, and when they know you're a foreigner and you don't speak Korean, they're gonna take advantage of you because they know you don't know the rules. They know you can't defend yourself. They know you don't have friends or people who can help you, so they're gonna abuse you. But if you come to them and you speak Korean and you know what needs to be done, and again, the information is out there. When you sign a lease, there is a list of things that you're supposed to do, especially regarding your deposit money. Like there's a paperwork that you can sign that would force the person to give you the money back. You need to register, you know, your housing under your name at the district where you live. Like there are steps. But if you don't know that and you don't speak Korean and you just like do things randomly, they're gonna abuse you. There's just no way around it.
So what's your advice to people who just arrived in Korea and who doesn't really speak in Korea and they try to find a translator? Friend?
I would say a friend would be the best way to go about it.
Who speaks Korean?
Who speaks Korean. That's what I did. I had a friend. There are 부동산, like I would say just go to a 부동산 in the neighborhood in which you want to establish yourself and let the person look for places for you and show you places. Also, don't say yes to a place you don't like. Because sometimes they'll pressure you into saying, oh yeah, but it's not going to be available tomorrow. Like you don't care. If you don't feel the place, don't rush into it. And also don't start the process too early because you know how fast it moves here. If you want to move, you don't start 2 months before. You start like a month before. Because when you find something, you have to pick it right away. You can't just be like, hey, can I come back in a month? They're going to tell you no. They're saying, no, if someone comes before, we're going to give it to the person. So start the process, I would say 3 weeks to a month prior to when you want to move. Bring a friend with you to help sign the paperwork, and then try to meet the owner as well. Because in my case, I live in a building. So the building is managed by a management company. The owner has paid for the office-style, but the building manages the office-style. So when I signed a contract with the agent, the owner came. So I met him. So I know who he is. He knows who I am. He knows who I am. And
Who speaks English?
he doesn't, but he came with his uncle who's lived in America. So he was like, and I like that because he could have come just like, I don't speak English, she's just gonna figure it out, I don't give a ish. But he brought someone on his side who could speak English, and I brought someone from my side who could speak Korean, and I appreciated that. It's like, oh, okay. I still needed my friend, obviously, but I was able to talk to the uncle, and then I told him about me, what I'm doing here, etc. And yeah, so we have a good relationship. And again, I'm in a building that's like brand new, so I don't have any issues. I don't even need to call him. If I have anything, I just deal with my management company. And because it is a management company, they fix things right away. They don't try to, they don't try to like get money out of me and come up with those crazy ass stories and telling me I need to pay this and that and the third. No, they're professionals. So I would say be careful also where you move. If you can move into like a building that's managed by professional that has nothing to do with the owner of the place you're staying at, it's better. But if you choose like a random place in Itaewon and you deal with the owner who lives like above you or below you, and the person is giving you a hard time, and you want to change your AC and the person is telling you it's going to be 20,000 or something when it's not. Yeah,
but the thing is, in one side, in one part, Korean landlord, they're being difficult, but at one side, on other side, in compare my experiences is in France. So in compare landlord, French landlord, they're not really. I feel that they're not really difficult because French landlord, when we come out to when we when the end of the contract of an apartment, like a French landlord come to apartment and they check all the detail, like in the wall. There's if there is some kind of small point or something like that, they check and they remove some money because of that or something like this. But in Korea, it's not that level. In France, we call it état des lieux. État des lieux. In Korea, when we go out from an apartment, they don't really check. I felt that they don't really check all the detail or something like that. They don't really being difficult. Maybe for me, but if I were foreigner, if I were not Korean, maybe the situation
should be careful.
Be different, I think.
They tell us to take pictures and videos of the place before we move in, just to be sure, so that if something were to happen, they can't accuse you of something. And I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, but the reason that you people, we just said that there's a lot of people who become emotional with Korea is for me is like there is like a beautiful kind of like there is a culture that they like touristic culture, kind of like Han River. I keep saying I keep talking about Han River. For me, it's really kind of I don't know
emblematic of Seoul.
I don't know those kind of thing, but also there's I heard that they talk about like a comfy thing in Korea. Comfy thing, is it correct? Like a expression?
Comfortable, like a comfortable life.
Yeah, comfort of life. Life, like for example, subway. And subway and
delivery services.
A delivery service or something like this, and then also security. Also, I really heard about this kind of story because subway I understand because in comparable French subways there's nothing to do. It's really
Even the Boston subway, which is good. It's a good subway system, but Seoul is by far superior in all aspects.
yeah, but and in the level of like a security, I mean, when I was living in Paris for 1 year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was not one time that I saw someone who tried to pickpocket me because I'm Asian also, you know. So, but in Seoul, even if you leave kind of Louis Vuitton bag in the middle of subway station, there's nobody who's gonna touch.
But this is also because of the camera systems.
Yeah,
Like, I think we need to
it's really
remind
good,
people of that. It's
really
not
good
that
point.
Koreans are just like, oh my God,
It's
so
really good
nice
point.
and so. It's like, no, there are cameras
good point.
every freaking where. So even if you want to steal, you cannot.
It's kind of one of fantasy of a Korean culture fan. They think that yeah, Korea is really secure because people are that kind. They don't even like get a Louis Vuitton bag inside of a subway or something like this. But is it really real that it's because they're kind? Is it really because they're really
I mean,
like
it could be, but
polite? It could be, but for me, it's security camera.
yeah, for me too.
Yeah.
That just dawned on me. I'm like, huh, if we had that very same system in, let's say, Boston, for example, then you would see a drop in people stealing stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about security, I think it's very important, especially for women, to remind them to not be complacent because Korea has this reputation of being so safe that we are going to let our guards down when we get here. And I don't want people to do that. I want you to remain as vigilant as you are in your own country and don't come here thinking all of a sudden you don't have to be careful anymore because you've heard that Korea is safe and there are CCTV everywhere. Like, don't be reckless. Don't go out and get drunk. Don't go home with strangers. Like, just be smart.
I see a lot of like Western, especially girls who let their guard too down in again in Hongdae and in Taiwan or something like this.
Yeah, hongdae's the worst, man.
I see a lot of like a French girl that who wear really like a kind of, I don't want to be sexist, but sexy kind of really like with a décolletage and everything really short.
Oh, I like how you say décolleté.
Yeah, really short skirt or something like this. But I said to myself, I'm really sure that they weren't wearing like this in their own country in France. No, I never
I don't
kind
think
of
so.
like that's why like Korean people they think that yeah, like Western people wear
We're so
always
free.
décolletage and a short yeah, it's the freedom or something like this. But no, because they kind of as you said they let their guard down too much maybe. So yeah, I see that no, French people doesn't wear like this in
I mean,
France.
you're gonna get insulted in the street if
Yeah,
you dress a certain way and you walk around, and we know that, so we don't do it. But then you come to Korea, and there is this, and you know the funny thing is, I have two different experiences of Korea because the first time I came to Korea, I was in my mid-20s and I was on vacation, and well, the first time I came here for a month and a half, and there was this sense of freedom. It's like, and that's what I loved Seoul so much, is I could be a different version of myself and I could be free. No one knows me here. I don't have to be the so serious Leila all the time. I can just like do whatever I want. So when I came, that was my mentality. And I was in hongdae all the time, partying, going to clubs and stuff like that, drinking, because I wanted that sense of freedom. So I get it. Because those people in hongdae, those girls, they're in their 20s. They're like, I see myself in them. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But the problem is this, again, this false sense of Korea is secure. And then you watch Korean dramas and you have this idea that Korean guys are just so nice and so sweet and so romantic and so this, so they can never hurt you. You combine that with, oh, Korea is so safe. I can do whatever. There's CCTV anywhere. Like, you combine that with the sense of freedom that you are in Korea and you want to have fun. The three combo sometimes can turn into disaster. And the problem also, I mean, it's not a problem, but then when disaster happened, people don't talk about it. You're not going to see someone on YouTube talk about, oh, I was, air APE or something like this happened to me, because it's embarrassing and because who wants to talk about that? So there's always this narrative of everything's great, you can have fun, but then the real dark reality, no one talks about it unless you go into like those deep Facebook groups where people are like, So I just want people to, whatever it is that you were doing in your country to keep yourself safe, just do that in Korea. That's it. That's all I'm asking. And then just be responsible. Don't trust people. Don't YOLO your life away, because small little mistake and something bad can happen. Be careful of your drink. Like, I don't go out anymore. I don't go clubbing anymore. I don't drink alcohol anymore. So, but for people who do, like, watch your drink, don't leave your drink here and go and dance and come back. Don't let a guy buy you a drink without seeing the bartender make the drink.
Because they put kind of drug in.
They could. Don't be flattered by cheap attention that Korean guys can give you because you're a foreigner, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so hot, I'm so popular. Like, look at this guy fawning over me. It's like, well, maybe he just wants to, so like cheap attention, take it for what it is, but don't take it too seriously, and just keep yourself safe. That's just my big sister message here.
I think, like there's a lot of girls like, Korea is secure, so I can wear something sexier than what I used to wear in my own country. So, like, logically, I become kind of more attractive, sexually. So when a guy sees some girls attractive, it makes by something to hook up.
He wants to get to know you. That's what I call cheap attention.
Yeah. So the thing is, you should pay attention. Yeah, men's are all same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
In every country, men's are all same.
Yeah.
They're chaser.
Exactly.
They're hunter.
I know. And you're not gonna go find a guy at a club. Let's be serious. Everybody goes to the club to have fun and stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's say you meet a guy at a club. Okay, fine. Maybe he's you, right? You're a good guy. You're a cool guy. So you go to a club, and then I can't tell my friend, oh yeah, don't talk to this guy. He's at the club and having fun, so he's not a serious person. No, like, you are a serious person in real life. So I don't want to judge you because you went to the club. My thing is, if you meet a guy at a club, just don't go home. I mean, you're not going to go home. You're probably going to go to a motel with him anyway, but don't go to him, because that's what they do here in Korea, right? Don't go to a motel with him. If you're really interested, give him your phone number and let him take you on a date, during the week or something, right? Like, you are allowed to be interested. He's allowed to be interested in you, but just don't start the process at the club. Just take the information and let him contact you, and then see where things go. But don't just like brush the process. But again, when you are in this mentality of, I just want to have fun, I'm free, this is my body, I can do whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I don't think like that, so I'm not going to judge women who do. But if you, do you, but just be mindful and careful of the consequences.
Yeah. The most popular hookup line of Korean guys, do you know what is that? When they want to...
Is it the ramen 먹을래?
Yeah, that one. Should we eat ramen in my house or something like this? But let's take a rest in a motel.
Take a rest.
Let's take a rest. Do you want to take a rest?
Rest for what? For the dancing at the club?
they are dancing in the club, and then they bring girls out of club, and they say, yeah, I'm kind of tired. Let's take a rest in a motel, and then let's keep go to houses.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I hear stories because I know people who, partake in the Korean hookup culture. So I've heard that usually all the motels are super booked, on those Friday, Saturday night because people want to do their business and stuff. And most of foreign women live by themselves, right? So they are in their own office style, one room, blah, blah, blah. So it's easier for them to bring guys home. And I guess Korean men also kind of know that. So yeah, just be careful who you bring home.
Yeah, they know that, you're a foreigner, you should live alone.
That makes you a target.
Yeah.
That makes you a target. So yeah,
but
be careful.
I don't want to generalize everything, but when you go to club and you go to club to try to find some serious person.
No, you don't.
I don't want to generalize. I really don't want to generalize.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, maybe in the bookstore, maybe not. Why not in bookstore? And maybe
or apps.
Yeah, or
which
apps.
Could be worse, but that's where I go.
Yeah, club, serious person is not related, so just don't accept. I don't.
Yeah, just go to the club if you want to have fun with your girlfriends and have a good time, etc. But then again, like I said, you could meet someone and that's fine, but just give your number and let the person pursue you in a more respectable manners. It's like, oh, you want to buy me a drink? Okay. Or maybe I don't want a drink, or maybe I'll get a drink, but I'll watch the bartender make the drink, and then we can talk and I can say goodbye, have a nice evening, and then you can text me or you can call me and you can set up a date. But honestly, I wouldn't even try that. I wouldn't, because I don't like clubbing anymore. It's just, do you remember NB2? I don't even know if it's still around.
I was not in Seoul.
Oh yeah, Busan, right?
Yeah. No, I was in France.
You were in France during that time? Okay. Yeah, no, because I remember back in the days in
I heard
hongdae,
about that.
It was at NB2. I would go there with my friends, and the music and oh my God. It was fun, but I was so shy back then anyway, so I wasn't the crazy type. But I remember enjoying partying, but now, you would have to pay me for me to set up in a club in Hongdae, I swear to you. Because, first of all, it's no longer my age anymore. I look at them like babies, like men in their 20s. But when you walk around Hongdae, or you drive around Hongdae, on Friday night and Saturday night, and you see the crowd of people, it's just like, oh my God, I'm so glad this is not my life anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like club, but I can really dance when there's music that I like. But with the music that I don't really like, but popular or something like this, I really can't dance. I really can't enjoy it. For example, I went to club 3 months ago, something like this. Turn that for what or something like this.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
No,
where was it? What club? In Goshiwon or Hongdae?
Hongdae, I think.
Okay.
Turn that for what or something like this. And I like J-pop. I like J-pop, but I listened too much.
Momé, yeah.
Yeah, I like this song, but too much.
With the Beyonce Hondongi?
Yeah, too much. It's just
okay. What brought you there? That's my question.
Just hanging out with friends.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not for a hookup or something like this.
Oh, so you were not on the prowl looking for?
No, because usually my friends like clubbing.
Okay.
My feminine friends,
Okay.
So I just wanted to.
Oh, you mean female friends,
female friends?
Oh, okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, so I was enjoying for 20 seconds or something like this, and then and
What happened then? Did you stay?
we stayed, and then we went out all together or something like this. No, it was not seducing situation. No, not at all.
Did you feel like you had to protect them in the club? Like, did you watch over them, or you were just like having your own time? Were you guys together or separate? Like, how does that work?
In those kind of club where there is a turned out for work or something like this, I really try hard to enjoy. I really try feel the music and then dancing and then vibing or something like this. But after 20 minutes, I realized that no, I can't enjoy. But do you know that I like to dance with the techno music.
Okay.
You know, there's the difference between the techno music in the club and those kind of music, like a popular music, like a turned out for what, whatever, something like
Okay.
this in the club. The speciality of the techno music is you're really into yourself. You're not in the seducing mode or something like that. You don't take care about anybody.
Okay.
You're really into yourself. You're like,
Okay.
you're really. I mean, the main subject is not seducing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about seducing. I really want to enjoy the sound. You know,
Okay.
so that's why I really like clubbing with the techno. Whereas a techno music, there is kind of club to go with the techno music in Itaewon and in Itaewon especially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's some kind of cool area. But yeah, I like techno music.
Okay.
Do you like techno music?
No, because to me it seems like you're just jumping around, right? Like you're jumping up and down, and I'm like, I'm not jumping, but I dance. You know, I dance, right? But I dance kizomba. It's like a couple dance. I like, Latin dancing. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
But your preference is dance to Latin music?
Yeah, it's dancing with a partner. That's how I dance.
Latin, you mean Latin music is
Oh no, like salsa, bachata, tango, that kind of stuff. Kizomba.
what it sounds like?
You don't know salsa? Salsa, bachata,
like
kizomba.
like Sergio Mendes? I don't know.
Sergio Mendes. I don't know who Sergio Mendes is. But it's well, yeah, it could be. It could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's basically the kind of dancing where you have to have a partner and you dance together. So it's about the connection. So you like when you're by yourself and you are in your own little world and you enjoy the music. I like it when I enjoy the music with someone and we're trying to create something together.
There's a video that you dance in on.
No, I don't have a video of me. I mean, I have like maybe one or two. Yeah, but I don't feel myself when I go to socials. Because a social is basically, so if you're into Latin dance in Korea, there are clubs, well, in Seoul, there are clubs where you can go. And the difference between those kind of clubs and the club you go to is that we go to dance. We don't go to socialize and talk to people and drink, blah, blah, blah. Like we go to dance.
Zumba is already socializing form of dance, no?
It's a social type of form.
More than that, like serious.
I mean, it's sensuous, it's sexy, it's all of that, but it remains a dance. So it's a contract that you have with the person where you come into together and you dance for like 1 to 3 songs or 4 songs, if more. But the idea is not, I'm here to seduce you, I'm here to talk to you, I'm here to get your phone number, I'm here to take you home.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, no, people are married there. People have girlfriends there. People are single. So we're just here to dance. And everybody knows that.
Yeah, because there is a kind of structure in this,
Exactly.
this type of dance.
And it makes it safe and cleaner than, let's say, going to a random club. I don't know, like an Afro. Because they have Afro clubs in Hongdae now, I've heard. But I've never been there. where
Yeah.
you dance with people, you back it up, and you
Yeah.
do all kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, but I have one of my friend like talk about zouk.
Mm.
Do you know
Yeah, I
zouk?
know Zouk. Yeah, I know Zouk.
It's really sexual.
It's not sexual. It's sensual.
Huh?
Sensual.
Cra-
Because when you say sexual, it's like, oh, I want to have sex with you right now on the dance floor kind of thing. It's like, no.
Yeah, maybe sensual, but you know visually form of a dance
Oh,
is
the visual,
you
yeah.
put your thigh between the other one's
Yeah, but you
legs.
don't touch his parts. Like, you don't stimulate that.
Ah, okay, it doesn't touch
No, of course not. Are you serious?
because
So,
it looked like
no,
really
no, no,
like
no,
a
no.
touching.
Even like for salsa, bachata, kizomba, where you see the people are like embracing each other, it's usually the stomach. The connection is at the stomach. It's not down there. Or that would be so uncomfortable for the men. Can you imagine? And then for us too, to feel that something is happening down there. No, the connection is a belly connection, if there is a connection.
Well, let's watch.
Do you really think that women would be doing those kind of dances
No,
if we
no, no,
were
no.
like...
I was doubting. I was doubting because it really looked like
I mean, how insane would that be? I mean,
touching.
if the guy is your man, of course, you're free to dance the way you want to dance. But usually,
What is spells like? How is spells like? Zouk?
Zouk, Z-O-U-K.
Dance. Okay, it's type of music.
And there are like two different types. There's like Caribbean Zouk, the one that you most likely know from France. And then there's the Brazilian Zouk.
So which one is more
Sensual? I would say the Zouk from France, the Zouk des Antilles, where people kind of like stick very close to each other.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's watch.
Oh, I like that song. You see, the connection is a belly connection.
So it looks like...
Yeah, it looks like, but it's a belly connection.
Okay.
Si t'as besoin de moi, sur moi tu peux compter. Je serai pour toi l'oreille à qui parler. Tu es mon ami. I love this song. That was a nice choice.
Ah, yeah.
Avec toi.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is like the zouk from Les Antilles. So most likely if you go to a party in France with people from the islands or African people, this is what you would be enjoying.
Okay.
But people don't dance that in Korea. This zouk, they dance the Brazilian version of zouk.
Okay. So your salsa club, in your salsa club, there's some Korean?
Well, it's not a salsa. I don't do salsa. I do kizomba.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my kizomba, yes, I would say 90% are Korean and then 10% foreigners, usually women. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not really shy, Korean people?
Not really, no, because it's dancing. It's a very specific environment.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, outside of dancing, they have a life. They have a job and stuff. I don't know their personality, but when it comes to dancing, everybody is very open. Everybody is very respectful. Everybody knows what they are here for, which is to have a good time. And at least in my community, we have nicknames. So I don't know your name. I don't know what you do for a living. I just know that your nickname is Johnny.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, hi, Johnny. But I don't know you, right? My nickname is Leila because I'm not Korean. Yeah. And that's how it is, and I like it.
For me, it's kind of cringy.
You think so?
No. Cringe that Korean have like
Nicknames?
Western name.
Oh.
For me, it's super cringy. You're, you, like your name is Yongshan, but you're not like a Rolf. You're not Jerome. You're not Saint Michel. You're not.
Okay, so to
You're not
be fair,
Michael.
okay, to be fair, it's not that kind of situation. But I know what you're talking about. But it's not that kind of situation. It's more like a stage name. So
Yeah, but it's different station. I agree with this idea for dancing because it's dancing is cultural thing or some words.
yeah.
So it should contain some kind of this name system or cultural name system, surely. But in like ordinary life, like people in Itaewon, people like present themselves like, "Hi, my name is Mike." No, your name is Yongshan. Fuck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
But usually they do that with foreigners, right? To make it easier for the foreigner.
You know the most awkward situation. Like there is one group of like 8% of foreigner,
Okay.
only 2% Korean who
Okay.
doesn't know each other.
Okay.
When they present themselves, it's really awkward. I know who you are. You know who I am. We are both Korean. We have a knowledge of culture of Korean. But he present himself. Hey, I'm Mike.
I mean,
What the fuck are you
it
talking
kind of
about?
makes sense because if you're all part of a group and the other 6 foreigners know him as Mike and he gives you a different name, then it'll be awkward if you were to call him something and the other friends are like, "Who are you calling?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, no. I mean, no, I can't
but yeah,
understand.
I get it. I
Yeah.
would rather.
Maybe you can present yourself. Yeah, for the facility, I present myself like a Salome, but my real name is Jiyoung or something like this. Something like that. Maybe with the explanation, but not my name.
Were you
my
Dongik in France?
My name?
Mm.
There's story.
You see, you
Okay.
see.
My name is in France is Donik, but in Korea is Dongik. Why? Because when I was France, at the beginning I present always myself. Je m'appelle Dongik. Je m'appelle Dongik. Je m'appelle Dongik. Je m'appelle Dongik. But people used to keep asking me Dongig, Dongig, Dongig. No. My name is Dongik. People can't like pronounce between Dong and Ik in Korean language way.
Okay.
So that's why I for just facility. So it's not Dongik at all, but Donik is much more similar.
But
it's
yeah, it sounds similar. So I'll give you a break. Yeah.
Maximum of effort. But I don't present myself Christian. Oh, François.
François.
Yeah, bonjour, je m'appelle François.
Je m'appelle Alain.
Oh my god, fuck. No, my name
no,
is
I get it. It could be cringy.
Yeah, you know, if it was your maternal culture, the Korean culture was your maternal culture, I think you can feel it. For example, yeah, you can feel it.
I've been asked if I had a Korean name, and I thought that was the most awkward question. And I'm like, why would I have a Korean name? But apparently, some people give themselves or ask their friends to give them a Korean name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love Leila. This is like such a beautiful name. Like, why would I get rid of it?
Your name is not Jiyoung, sir. Jiyoung, Jihye, so like this.
So like, and then what last name am I going to use? Because that Korean name next to my last name would be so awkward. But I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, if you were born in Korea, sure, you should have like a Jihye, Jiyoung or something like that, whatever. But you lived in Korea for like 3 years, and your name is Jihye or something like that.
Have you ever met like foreigners with a Korean name? Because I think that's a thing girl would do. I don't see a guy wanting to have a Korean name, but I do see a girl wanting to try to do that.
A lot.
A lot what?
There is a lot of girls who present themselves
with their Korean name.
No, Western name. Sorry, I
The
didn't.
other
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Okay,
the other
okay.
way.
But have you seen foreign girls giving you a Korean name or telling you about their Korean names?
About their Korean name,
Yeah.
uh, it depends of a area of a site. In Itaewon, never.
Mm-hmm.
They always like present themselves. I'm Leah. I'm Christine or something like this. Never in, kind of never in a
Okay.
Korean name.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, people can do whatever
Yeah, of course.
that they want, but the thing is, I mean,
The thing is, you're a hater.
I mean, I'm proud of my own culture, my Korean culture, my
Mm-hmm.
French culture. What in my whole life, there is no like a superior value and like a no lower value or something like this. I'm not ashamed about my name when I present myself,
But to be fair, though, most of the guys that I've known with an English name, I would say the majority of them would say my Korean name is so hard to pronounce. That's why I have an English name to make it easy. Or the other reason would be they've lived abroad and people had a hard time pronouncing their name. So they used a foreign name abroad, and when they came back to Korea, they kind of kept that name with foreigners. So I could understand that.
Maybe
You're just
I
like,
can understand.
you're like, whatever, no.
Maybe I can understand because I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure because there's a one guy who is called Mohammed. They just present themselves Mohamed in France, not Mohammed, not François. You know.
True, that would be awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's yeah. To go from Mohammed to François, that there's something deeper here.
You know, we all have a right to like do whatever we want, but
It's a free world.
But cringy. It's
Yeah,
just cringy.
true.
It's just cringy, you know.
Yeah, but if it makes the person happy, who are we to say it's cringy? The person is like, I don't care what you think. Let me have my name.
Yeah. But nowadays, I have one kind of problem with my cell phone. Since there is like a short form video, I'm always scrolling.
Okay.
You know, like a short video, you know, 2 or 3 second video. There's some wave of a trend of humor that the people like express their most cringy thing on purpose.
Okay, I have something super cringy to say right now.
Tell me.
I want to use the bathroom.
Let's go. I really wanted to like talk about how it's important to networking in Korea. For me personally, it's not been a long time that I realized that this importance. Networking is really important, but you know it. Especially, we just talked about like to find a job, but especially when you like when you try to find a job, I think you search on Google, you search on the site like a LinkedIn or something like this, and it's a good idea. It's logic is a good idea, but there's sometimes it's much more easier to like meet people and find some new idea and a new perspective and a new opportunity from somebody else or something like this that you can't really do with the Google.
Yeah.
And I really and it's much more easier and much more funnier to have a networking with people. It's like making friend, but you don't insult with these people because it's not your friend from old friend, but it's still funny. You can have a drink with people or something like this. So you also wanted to like talk about in your video you talked about the importance of networking to
Yeah.
find a job in Korea.
Yes, absolutely. If like right now, the job that I have, I got this job through networking, meaning that someone I know knew about this opportunity, sent me a text message and say, "Hey, listen, there is this and that. Are you interested?" If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have this job today, right? So networking is very important. And the people, I would have to say, you don't have to go to specific places to network. The person who gave me the opportunity was my Airbnb host from 2015 when I first came to Korea. Okay. At that time, I had no idea that she would be so instrumental to me having a job today. But it's someone I met. We had a good relationship. I stayed in touch with her. I helped her when she needed, she had like an app that she created. She needed help with translation, English, French, blah, blah. But I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart. But I had no idea that 7 years later, she would repay me by talking to me about this opportunity. So my thing is, most of the people that I know here that have non-teaching jobs have found a job through someone.
Surely, yeah, it
Yes.
really makes sense. It's always like
It's
this.
always through someone. And that someone can be a random, like me, for example, in my dancing community, I told you we have nicknames, but at the end of the day, you start talking to people and you start ending up, you know what they do.
Yeah,
I'm with like lawyers,
yeah,
architects,
yeah.
VPs in companies. You know what I mean? So even if I did not have the job that I have today, I could easily try to like, hey, I'm looking for a job, like, help me. One of them even helped me with my resume before I applied to the job that I currently have.
Sorry, can you make closer your mic?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Is it better?
Yeah,
Okay. So it doesn't really matter where you go. I would say whoever you meet, try to always keep networking in mind. First, let people know that you are in Korea to stay and that you are looking for a job. Because if people don't know that, they cannot help you. My friends knew I was in Korea. She knew I was at Sogang. She knew I was looking for something. So she contacted me. So don't be afraid to let people know that you're looking for a job. Tell them about your background and tell them about like how you're learning Korean, etc. The second thing is, you never know where the opportunity is going to come from. So always treat people with respect and kindness. And hopefully it'll pay off one day. The third thing is you can be proactive. There are like business communities here in Korea, like for example, Chamber of Commerce. So if let's say you are a French person in Korea, you can go on their website. I know I did that. They post jobs and you can also like upload your resume so that if there is something that match your resume, they can contact you. They also have networking events.
chambers of what?
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce.
Chambre
Okay.
de commerce.
Chambre de commerce. Okay.
So they have it for French. They have it for other European countries. I don't know if America has that, but I'm pretty sure they do. So, and they have like event, like I get emails. I think I got like 2 emails in the past 2 months telling me about events, like cocktail events. Of course, you have to pay, but it puts you in a room with people who are professionals here in Korea, people who are business owner in Korea. And if you're serious about your job, you just go there, you show up, you talk to people, and you can have an opportunity like this as well. So it's the official networking and the unofficial networking. So if you come here and you meet people, again, make sure you let people know what you're looking for and look out for opportunities. That would be my advice.
What happened when I work as a entrepreneur is people doesn't hire someone like logically someone that they don't know personally from internet. Usually they usually hire someone. They usually work with someone who is just friendly, even if they're not really perfectly good, or who is not really like a good at work, like a perfect at work or something like this, finally people who like people try to like find someone friendly with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like this. So yeah, you can just send a CV from via internet or something like this, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's very unlikely. I mean, you have to do it because you never know, right?
Mm.
And there are many Korean jobs like people in jobs, and then Saramin, and you have LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is better because at least with LinkedIn, you have the name of the recruiter that you can contact directly, so you can apply for the job, and then you can contact the recruiter and say, hey, you know, I applied for the job. That's also a strategy you can use. But at the end of the day, recommendation will get you a long way, especially if they have to sponsor you. And that's something we haven't talked, which is very, very important. It's the sponsoring part of the job that is also very important, because a company can want to hire you, but would the government say yes? That's another story. So there are certain limitations that the company has, like you have to have a certain number of Korean employees if you want to hire a foreigner, and then you have to justify why the foreigner is better than the Korean at this particular job. And then you have to gather all the documents, and then you submit the application to the Seoul government. And then they make a decision. In the case, they can say no, even if the company wants to sponsor you.
Is the condition is that difficult?
It is very, I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's very precise in terms of like the document you have to provide, and gathering those documents can take time. Like for example, your diploma, you have to have it certified. So I have my diploma with me, but I can't just make a copy of it. So I have to have it, there's a notarized kind of thing.
From embassy?
Actually, they had to do it in America.
Okay, yeah.
And then you receive the copy,
Yeah.
right? I have to contact my previous job
Yeah.
to get a recommendation letter.
Yeah.
I have to have a Korean resume, and I have to have an English resume, right? But my English resume has to be certified by my company, because the government wants to make sure that whatever it is that I put on my resume is not something I made up, and that the responsibilities that I say I had on my previous job, they need my job to verify that that really happened. So you have to contact your previous company. So you have to make sure that you're still in good term with your manager or your old company, because you're going to need those documents from them. What I did is I drafted everything myself and I sent it to my boss, because like we are very close and stuff. But that's something you need to keep in mind. Don't burn bridges, because you're going to need those people. And then little things like your Korean abilities. I went to Sogang, so I could just give my transcript from Sogang. But if you do like, is it the TOEIC? The Korean...
Topic? No?
TOPIK? Yeah, TOPIK. Yeah. So you have to provide your TOPIK score, for example, to prove that you can speak Korean. So it's just like a list of things, and it's back and forth between you, the company, and the lawyer, because you don't do it yourself. The company who hires you has a lawyer, immigration lawyer, who's going to do everything for you. So the lawyer will tell the company what they need. The company tells you, you get the document, you give it to the company, they give it to the lawyer, and then the lawyer comes back and say, oh, I need this. So it's like back and forth. It took almost like 3 months.
Okay.
Just to gather the documents.
Okay.
And then you submit and you wait. And I remember, and I thought it was like an automatic thing. Like if the company wants to sponsor you, you're going to get the visa. But my boss at my new company once told me that they were denied when they try to hire someone like in a different position, like an IT position or whatever. And I was like, what? You can get denied? She's like, yeah. And that blew my mind. So when when the lawyer submitted my application, I was stressed. Because I'm like, it could not go through. But that's a reality. So it's not only finding the company that's willing to do it, but also praying that immigration feels like you deserve to work at that company.
I heard that Korean immigration department, they're kind of difficult. No, it's like every country's immigration department. I think.
I would say the only difficulty is getting an appointment.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because right now you have to go online and make an appointment, and there aren't many slots available. So if I need an appointment today, if I go on a website, I'm pretty sure the next one will be like in a month or something.
Okay.
So that's the part that is not really convenient. But as far as like if you have a problem and you have an appointment and you go there, if it's something simple like I lost my card, please help me replace it, it's like very fast. But when it comes to visas and requirements, because they do change those requirements sometimes. So you may have a plan for, okay, I'm going to go for this visa because the requirement is this and that. And then next year they're going to change it. And you're like, what happened? Right? And then when it comes to documents, it depends on who you're meeting that day. Maybe you brought a copy and then the person's like, okay, that's fine. Maybe the other person would be like, oh yeah, but I need a certified translation of that document. You know what I mean? So those little details can vary. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward as far as like what they need from you. But then again, it's always stressing. Dealing with immigration in any country is very stressful. So whenever I go there, my heart is beating so fast. Whenever I'm out of there, I'm like relieved because I know that I did whatever it is that I needed to do. But it's a very stressful situation. Yeah, it is.
And in USA, immigration was also difficult and stressful.
I don't quite remember because I became American. So it's like... Yeah, I don't have to.
You're American right now?
Yeah, I am.
You're American?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I'm an American person. So
okay.
yeah, no, this
American.
This is my first time like dealing with this whole like work visa and immigration and do all those documents, trying to figure out how to stay in a country long term and stuff like that. But yeah, you just have to know what you want and you have to do your research and you have to call. Here's the thing too. Immigration has a phone number and they have people who speak English. So if you're confused about something or if there's a visa you're interested in, you can call them and ask them. And sometimes they even send you a text message with the list of documents required for this specific visa. So that can help you. Now, sometimes the information, if it's like very technical, hey, I have this type of visa, can I do this type of work? Am I going to be in trouble? You may get different answers. But as far as like generally speaking, for general situations, if you don't want to go on a website and spend your time doing research, call them, get your answer, and that's it. No, they're helpful. I feel like it's helpful. It's just stressing.
Okay. Hopefully there is people who speak in English.
Yeah, they have people speaking English and Chinese. Because when you call, it's asking you the language you want. And then you just click on the English and then you get... It's not an immigration officer. It's like a customer service department. If they don't know the answer, they will call immigration to get the answer for you. But usually they're pretty accurate.
When I was living in France, it was really horrible when I used to go to
slow.
like a immigrant department, because French people like paper, like a physical paper, not digital paper. I was preparing that thick of papers, like a paper from wood, you know.
Yeah. And then when you don't have that document, they tell you to come back.
Yeah, I was really.
And you have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, I was really fucked up with this system. I should make a rendezvous for one day and I got rejected, and another time I make a queue for 3 hours and I get it, and I rejected another time, blah blah blah.
And it's very slow too.
Yeah, it was really slow. And I was living in France, and also I moved to Tahiti. When I was preparing to move to Tahiti, it was really complicated because it's really rare an Asian from another country who was living in France and who want to go to our dom-tom or something
Dom-tom,
like yeah, dom-tom or something like this.
Like why?
Kind of nobody wanted to do that, but I was kind of one of first person I really believe who from Nice who asked this kind of paper. I was not even in France. I was in Nice, so the thing that shocked me was how to say fonctionnaire in English, fonctionnaire, people who work in
like the clerk, I guess.
yeah.
Not immigration, but the
People work in
you can
like
call him the
city
clerk.
hall.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
city hall, the clerk
Yeah,
at city
clerk.
hall.
Yeah, for me in Korea, clerk doesn't need to kind of
Question you?
make a scam against you. But I needed one tampon for get a visa to go to Tahiti. There was a clerk who tried to pay me much more, like a 400 euro more than which I really needed.
So he wanted to scam you?
Yeah, I got really shocked because I was alone when I was like demanding for the first time, and then they said me, yeah, to get this tampon you should pay like a 500 euro or something like this. I got really shocked. Why is it that expensive? And then I came to my Tahitian friends. They are really like gentle, and one of friends, she said that no, it's scam. It's scam. It's not possible. And she came with me, and they said, "Oh, it was it was a mistake.
Oh my god!
I just paid 60 euro. Kind of, I believe that if my memory is good, I kind of paid 60 euro. For me, it was really shocked because I was kind of like a clerk tried to scam me. For me, it's not possible. But it's exactly what happened for me.
Okay, so were you gonna give the money in cash? Like, how was he gonna like keep the rest, or?
There was a in France for this kind of, for paying this kind of thing we use a timbre fiscal. There's kind of a letter tampon for something like that. We pay for take this letter tampon who has a value of 100 euro or 50 euro or something like this. So the clerk asked me to buy
an extra stamp. So maybe he would have like resold the stamp somewhere and get the money out of it.
Maybe.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, right?
But I'm so glad you did not pay. And you were like, you know what? I'm going to waste more time to get another appointment and come back with a friend. Because that's what you had to do, right?
Yeah.
Make another appointment.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But for me, it was really not possible that clerk tried to scam me.
No, Korean clerks don't do that.
No,
they don't do that. I can confirm.
They don't need to do that because it's not their money, and there's no way to make this kind of tampon change to money or something like this.
Yeah,
there's no way to scam. You can believe a Korean clerk, but they are not really good at work. But they don't. At least they don't scam. You know.
No, they don't scam. They don't. But they're rather fast. I mean, considering, I have to say, it just depends. Like, if your situation is complicated, of course you're not going to be happy with them because they're not going to tell you what you want to hear, and they're going to tell you to get a bunch of documents. But when you do like basic stuff, like what I've been doing so far, it goes well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Okay.
It's my first time to make a podcast, so I'm kind of...
So far, so good? How do you feel?
I don't know, I'm kind of stressed.
Okay.
Half stressed, half happy.
Okay. The happy part is what matters. The happy part is what matters.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of good for first time. So let's. Do you have something to say for before the end of the?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me on this podcast and for being the first guest. I'm
It's my
honored.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
And it goes back to say again, the networking thing is very important.
Mm.
Because you gave me an opportunity that I never would have had.
It's my pleasure.
So, yeah, keep in
It's
mind
my
that people,
opportunity.
when you meet people, to just, be yourself and keep in touch and stuff like that.
Okay.
What I would say is if you have a dream and that dream is to come to Korea, I think you should definitely pursue it. And I think you should be responsible with your dream, aka make your, do your research, come here on vacation, have a good time, whatever. Yeah, just go for it. That would be it. Go for it. Do all the research you can, and come and give it a try and try your best to make it work. And if you
Mm.
realize that actually that dream is not something you want anymore, then that's fine.
Mm.
Go and find something else.
Yeah, I think it's really like a slogan of Nike. Just do it.
Just do it.
You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
even if it's stupid idea, it seems stupid idea or something like this. At least you did something.
Yeah,
It's much better than
having
doing
regrets.
nothing and having regret
Mm,
about doing nothing.
exactly.
You should do a lot of thing which is stupid and a lot of errors and much better than nothing.
Mm,
You should do a lot of things.
yeah, just do it. Give it a try. Give it your all. No regrets. That would be my message.
Okay, thank you for coming for today. And
Thank you for
yeah,
having me.
on YouTube there is a channel who is called Missklei,
Yes.
MisskleI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much. See you
Thank you.
guys.
All right, bye.
Fun.
Yeah.